Hello friends, and welcome to the video. So today I wanted to talk about something that's come out of the comments. Looking at these direct path videos, it's getting very much really into we're only looking at your direct experience. So it's putting aside any conceptual frameworks you've got. And it's very tempting to want to explain things that way. And in fact, Advaita Vedanta also does explain things this way as well. So I wanted to contrast some ideas from classical Advaita Vedanta with the more extreme Ajātavāda of Gaudapada. Now, Gaudapada was the teacher of Adi Shankaracharya, and he has a very Buddhist approach. His teachings come from in a period that were dominated by Buddhist discussion, and a lot of the terminology he uses is Buddhist. And I think at the beginning he even says something nice about Buddha, or at the end, I can't remember. So people say, well, he must be a Buddhist. He's a crypto-Buddhist. He's a secret Buddhist. He's really a Buddhist. But it's a commentary on the Upanishads. And Buddha rejected the Upanishads. So he can't be Buddhist. He is, in fact, Advaita Vedanta. Now, but his conclusion is Ajātavāda, that nothing was created. There's no creation, no cessation. There's nobody seeking enlightenment. There is no enlightenment. There's nobody who is enlightened, that kind of stuff. And it does sound very much like the more extreme forms of Buddhism, maybe Madhyamaka Buddhism, the emptiness people. And he was very hardcore and not very accessible, really. Now, his student, Adi Shankaracharya, really made it more mainstream. I think he even brought together Hinduism in a big way in other senses, writing devotional hymns and things like that. But Adi Shankaracharya presents this idea of two truths. And this exists in Buddhism as well. Because when you do have this extreme view, kind of slightly nihilistic, it seems nihilistic, what do we do? Well, that's in the ultimate truth. In the relative truth, we still, we participate in this game of life. We're playing this game, we're acting in this play, do it as well as you can. So that was Adi Shankaracharya. And the teaching mostly of Advaita Vedanta, of people like Swami Sarvapriyananda, is from this point of view. So they do, well, first, before going into that, the teaching of all Advaita Vedanta is that only Brahman is real. The world is an illusion, and you are Brahman. So that is the teaching throughout all. And there are different teaching methods to help you to realize that truth. The first one, the most accessible, and the way where most people start, is Dṛṣṭi-sṛṣṭi-vāda. So this is saying that the world exists, and you see it. So in the morning you wake up and the world exists, but that was because it did exist before you woke up. It existed before you were born, and all of that. Before, I'm talking about the separate self, of course. But how is it done? It's done by God. So they have a framework of God creating the world. This could be modernized, and you could say that it's created by the Big Bang or any sort of thing you prefer. But basically, it is created. It's there, whether or not you see it. This is a good way in. The next one is Dṛṣṭi-sṛṣṭi-vāda. So instead of Sṛṣṭi-dṛṣṭi, we've got Dṛṣṭi-sṛṣṭi-vāda. So this is the teaching that you see it, and the world appears when you see it. And you can see this in the teachings of Nisargadatta Maharaj, Ramana Maharshi, Jean Klein. Occasionally they mention something, they're going on normally, and then suddenly they say something like, the world appears when you wake up in the morning. And what happened there? Now, Ramana Maharshi said that I think he even thought the devotion was okay. There are many ways to God. You've got devotion mantra, and then you've got the more pure self-inquiry, and you have Dṛṣṭi-sṛṣṭi-vāda, and then higher than that is Dṛṣṭi-sṛṣṭi-vāda, so the world appears as you see it, which is kind of what we're looking at in the direct path. Certainly in the beginning, we're exploring that there's nothing outside awareness. And that's better, but even better than that, according to Ramana Maharshi, is Ajātavāda, is this teaching of Gaudapada, that nothing was ever created, nothing was ever destroyed. You could be tempted to think that Dṛṣṭi-sṛṣṭi-vāda, this teaching that the world appears when you see it, is solipsism. But we're not. Solipsism is the idea that your mind creates the world and other minds don't exist. But we're not saying that. Other minds exist, your mind exists, but your mind is part of the world. Other minds are part of the world. And it's the witnesses all of them. It's not that somebody's mind creates the world. It's not that there's only one person here. All of those minds are in the world. They're in objective reality. They're in the object, not in the subject. And this is, we can see that in Advaita Vedanta, mind is subtle matter. It's considered matter. We have this division in the West, that there is matter, solid stuff, and there is mind, which is kind of, well, if you believe in materialism, it's a what's the word? I can't remember now. It arises out of matter. It's not the same, clearly, as matter, because this is why we have the hard problem of consciousness. Neurons, chemical reactions, electronic pulses, are not the taste of tea. It's something different. This is tea, that's taste of tea. This is the color orange. This is feeling of hope, and that's a neuron. It's not the same thing. So we have this idea that mind is not matter. The matter, I remember. The matter somehow produces this epiphenomenon. So even though you don't need it in evolution, this epiphenomenon of the mind, which is everything we see, our whole world, somehow comes out of the thing that we have in our model, has produced. This is all part, in Advaita Vedanta, this is all just matter. Even the mind is matter. Even the taste of tea is matter. It's something there. It's subtle matter, yes, but it's not the subject. It's not consciousness. Now, Ajātavāda it may sound quite extreme, no creation, no cessation, etc., etc. But it's just like the snake and the rope analogy. You see the rope, and you think it's a snake. The snake was never produced. It's just an error, and when you try to prove the error, you say, well, why did it happen? How did it happen? This is this is to be avoided, because this is putting a foundation under Maya. This is saying that Maya is a second reality. This is real. And you've got Brahman, the rope, and then you've got the snake. And the snake is logically explained, but it's not. If you could logically explain it, then it would be real, but it's not real. It's an error, it's an illusion. And so there's no need to try to explain how it came. If you could explain it, it would be real and would have duality. But it's just a mistake. Now, you may think that, I just said that it's not solipsism, but Advaita Vedanta does actually have a form of solipsism. It's called Ajātavāda. And this, Ekajiva, means there's only one jiva. That is really, there's only you. There's only one jiva. Jiva is the separate self. But this is, I suppose it's not very popular, but this is also just a teaching method. It's not a claim about reality. It's not a metaphysical claim. It's not trying to say this is how reality is, that there's only you. It is just a way of looking so that you can get the ultimate realization, which is that only Brahman is real, the world is an illusion, and you are Brahman. So that is actually another door into learning, but it's not claiming that only the jiva there's only one jiva, but it's just another way of trying to reach this final understanding. So Ramana Maharshi said that they're all good, but Ajātavāda is the ultimate understanding. And this really does get very close to the ideas of Buddhism, especially things like Madhyamaka Buddhism, the emptiness people. Everything is empty, even Buddha is empty, and even the concept of emptiness is empty. They're just refusing to reify everything. And this is really how we should understand Advaita Vedanta. We should not be putting consciousness as something that could be explained. It's, if you could, then that's part of the objective world. You still haven't found it. The ultimate subject can never be objectified. It is actually prior to the subject and the object. As we've done in the direct path, we see that something, you see an apple, you see that really it's not an apple and the color. You see it's not a color and the seeing, there's just a seeing. And you see that in your direct experience, there's not you and the seeing, there is just a seeing. We'd collapse the subject and the object into just this thing itself. And that is really how Advaita Vedanta should ultimately be understood. And that is why this direct path is really fantastic at getting us there. Having said that, we can. The fact that we have the two truths, the ultimate reality and the relative transactional reality, the ultimate truth and relative truth, we have to behave morally in Buddhism and in Advaita Vedanta. It's not nihilism. There's ways to improve your situation in life, but we shouldn't mix this. And also, modern science, we can do amazing things. That's all describing the appearance. It's not describing the ultimate reality. And when we start mixing the appearance with the ultimate reality, that we're saying that the appearance is the ultimate reality, that's when we start getting all the problems that we have about vulnerable, separate self, fragile, death. And we can't access the truth of the unlimited, eternal, unchanging thing that you really are, this Brahman that you really are, which is the teaching of Advaita Vedanta from whichever direction you go in. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.